Top 10 Most Influential Rock Albums Ever Released. What if I told you that just 10 albums changed rock music forever? These aren't simply the best-selling records or the most famous albums of all time. These are the albums that broke the rules, inspired generations of musicians, and completely transformed the sound of rock music.
Gonna make you burn, gonna make you stay.
From revolutionary guitar playing and groundbreaking studio production to fearless songwriting and unforgettable performances, every album on this list left a permanent mark on music history.
Welcome to the jungle. We got
You'll discover how Nirvana's Nevermind brought grunge into the mainstream, why Pink Floyd's The Dark Side of the Moon became one of the greatest concept albums ever made, and how Guns N' Roses' Appetite for Destruction revived hard rock with raw energy and attitude. We'll also explore the timeless brilliance of Led Zeppelin IV, the groundbreaking creativity of Pet Sounds, and the underground masterpiece, The Velvet Underground and Nico, an album that inspired countless punk and alternative rock legends. As we climb even higher, you'll see how Jimi Hendrix completely reinvented the electric guitar, how the Beatles' Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band transformed the recording studio into an artistic instrument, and why the Rolling Stones' Exile on Main Saint became the ultimate blueprint for authentic rock and roll. And finally, we'll reveal the album that many believe expanded the boundaries of rock music more than any other. An album whose influence continues to shape artists more than 5 decades after its release. So, do you agree with our rankings? Which legendary album would make your own top 10? Stay tuned as we count down the 10 most influential rock albums ever released. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you never miss another journey through the greatest moments in rock history. Let's begin the countdown. Top 10 Most Influential Rock Albums Ever Released. Hashtag 10 Nevermind by Nirvana. What if one album could completely change the sound of rock music almost overnight? In 1991, that's exactly what Nevermind by Nirvana did. It didn't just become a bestseller, it sparked a musical revolution that buried the glam metal era and introduced the world to grunge. Here's why Nevermind deserves the number 10 spot on our list of the most influential rock albums ever released. Before Nevermind, the rock charts were dominated by flashy bands with big hair, over-the-top guitar solos, and polished production. But Nirvana brought something completely different. Led by Kurt Cobain, alongside bassist Chris Novoselic and drummer Dave Grohl, the band embraced raw emotion, distorted guitars, and lyrics that captured the frustration and uncertainty of a generation. When the album's lead single, Smells Like Teen Spirit, hit the airwaves, it became an instant cultural phenomenon. MTV played the video non-stop, and suddenly millions of listeners were discovering a new sound they had never heard before. Released on September 24, 1991, Nevermind eventually knocked Michael Jackson's Dangerous off the #1 spot on the Billboard charts, something few people expected from a relatively unknown rock band. The album sold more than 30 million copies worldwide and turned grunge from an underground movement in Seattle into a global musical force. Its influence can still be heard today in alternative rock, post-grunge, and even modern indie music. Countless bands have cited Nevermind as the album that inspired them to pick up a guitar and start writing songs. More than 3 decades later, its message of honesty, vulnerability, and rebellion continues to connect with new generations of fans. That's why Nevermind by Nirvana earns the number 10 spot on our countdown of the most influential rock albums ever released. Do you think it should be ranked higher? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe as we continue counting down the greatest rock albums of all time. Top 10 Most Influential Rock Albums Ever Released. Hashtag 9. The Dark Side of the Moon by Pink Floyd. What if one rock album could make you question time, money, life, and even your own sanity? Released in 1973, The Dark Side of the Moon by Pink Floyd did exactly that. More than just a collection of songs, it became one of the most ambitious and influential albums ever created, forever changing the way people viewed rock music. Here's why it takes the number 9 spot on our list. By the early 1970s, Pink Floyd had already built a reputation for pushing musical boundaries. But with The Dark Side of the Moon, they created something truly extraordinary. The album explores universal themes such as time, greed, conflict, mental health, and the pressures of modern life. Instead of treating each song as a separate track, the band connected them into one seamless listening experience, making the album feel like a single musical journey. Songs like Time, Money, Us and Them, and Brain Damage became timeless classics, combining powerful lyrics with unforgettable melodies. What made the album even more revolutionary was its groundbreaking production. Pink Floyd used studio effects, tape loops, spoken voices, synthesizers, and rich soundscapes in ways that were years ahead of their time. It raised the standard for what a rock album could sound like. The impact was immediate and long-lasting. The Dark Side of the Moon sold more than 45 million copies worldwide. And spent over 900 weeks on the Billboard album chart, one of the longest chart runs in music history. Its iconic prism cover has become one of the most recognizable album covers ever designed, symbolizing the band's creativity and innovation. Even today, musicians across rock, progressive rock, electronic, and alternative music continue to draw inspiration from its sound and storytelling. For its groundbreaking production, unforgettable songs, and lasting influence on generations of artists, The Dark Side of the Moon by Pink Floyd proudly earns the number 9 spot on our countdown of the most influential rock albums ever released. Do you agree with this ranking? Share your thoughts in the comments, and be sure to subscribe as we continue counting down the albums that changed rock history forever. Top 10 Most Influential Rock Albums Ever Released. Hashtag 8. Appetite for Destruction by Guns N' Roses. What happens when 5 young musicians from Los Angeles release an album so raw and explosive that it completely changes hard rock? In 1987, Appetite for Destruction by Guns N' Roses did exactly that. It brought grit, attitude, and authenticity back to rock music. Becoming one of the most influential debut albums of all time. Here's why it ranks number 8 on our list. By the late 1980s, rock music was dominated by polished glam metal bands known for flashy outfits and radio-friendly hits.
Every day, learn to live
Then Guns N' Roses arrived with a sound that was louder, dirtier, and far more dangerous. Fronted by the powerful vocals of Axl Rose and fueled by Slash's unforgettable guitar playing, the band created an album packed with energy, emotion, and unforgettable riffs. The album featured iconic songs like Welcome to the Jungle, Paradise City, and Sweet Child O' Mine. Each track showcased the band's unique blend of hard rock, blues, and heavy metal, helping them stand out from every other band of the era. At first, the album sold slowly, but as radio stations and MTV embraced its singles, Appetite for Destruction exploded in popularity. It eventually reached #1 on the Billboard 200. And has sold more than 30 million copies worldwide, making it the best-selling debut album in US history. Its success proved that audiences were ready for rock music with real emotion, raw performances, and a rebellious spirit. The album inspired countless hard rock and metal bands throughout the 1990s and beyond. Even today, Slash's guitar solos and the album's unforgettable songs remain staples of classic rock radio, live concerts, and playlists around the world. For reviving hard rock with unmatched energy, unforgettable songs, and a fearless attitude, Appetite for Destruction by Guns N' Roses earns the #8 spot on our countdown of the most influential rock albums ever released. Do you think this album deserves to be even higher on the list? Let us know in the comments. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and join us as we continue counting down the greatest rock albums of all time. Top 10 Most Influential Rock Albums Ever Released. #7, Led Zeppelin IV by Led Zeppelin. What if one album could define an entire generation of rock music? In 1971, Led Zeppelin released an album with no official title, no band name on the cover, and no explanation. Yet it became one of the greatest and most influential rock albums ever made. Here's why Led Zeppelin IV claims the #7 spot on our countdown. By the early 1970s, Led Zeppelin had already established themselves as one of rock's biggest bands. But with their fourth studio album, they created a masterpiece that would shape rock music for decades. The album blended hard rock, blues, folk, and acoustic music into a sound that felt both powerful and timeless. Instead of following trends, Led Zeppelin created something entirely their own. The record opens with the thunderous Black Dog, moves into the explosive rock and roll, and features the haunting beauty of Going to California. Every song showcases the band's incredible chemistry and musical versatility, but the album's defining moment is Stairway to Heaven, beginning with a gentle acoustic melody and building into one of the most famous guitar solos ever recorded. The song has become a symbol of classic rock itself. Decades after its release, it remains one of the most celebrated songs in music history.
Tell me no lies, make me a happy man.
The album sold more than 37 million copies worldwide and became one of the best-selling rock albums of all time. More importantly, it inspired generations of guitarists, singers, drummers, and songwriters who wanted to capture the same creativity and power. Jimmy Page's innovative guitar work, Robert Plant's soaring vocals, John Paul Jones' musicianship, and John Bonham's thunderous drumming created a blueprint that countless rock bands have followed ever since. Even more than 50 years later, Led Zeppelin IV continues to influence artists across hard rock, heavy metal, and alternative rock, proving that truly great music never fades. For its groundbreaking songwriting, unforgettable performances, and enormous impact on rock history, Led Zeppelin IV earns the number 7 spot on our list of the most influential rock albums ever released. Do you think Led Zeppelin IV should be ranked even higher? Let us know in the comments. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications as we continue counting down the albums that changed rock music forever. Top 10 most influential rock albums ever released. Hashtag 6, Pet Sounds by the Beach Boys. Can one album completely change the future of rock music? In 1966, Pet Sounds by the Beach Boys did exactly that. It proved that a rock album could be deeply personal, emotionally powerful, and sonically groundbreaking. More than half a century later, it remains one of the most influential albums ever recorded. Here's why Pet Sounds takes the number 6 spot on our countdown. By the mid-1960s, the Beach Boys were already famous for their catchy songs about surfing, cars, and teenage life. But Brian Wilson wanted to create something far more ambitious. Inspired to push the limits of popular music, Wilson spent months crafting an album unlike anything listeners had heard before. Instead of focusing on simple rock arrangements, he layered rich vocal harmonies with orchestral instruments, unusual sound effects, and complex studio techniques. The result was Pet Sounds, an album filled with unforgettable songs like Wouldn't It Be Nice, God Only Knows, and Sloop John B. These tracks combine beautiful melodies with deeply emotional lyrics about love, hope, loneliness, and growing up. Although the album wasn't an immediate commercial success in the United States, musicians instantly recognized its brilliance. One of its biggest admirers was Paul McCartney, who has often praised Pet Sounds as one of his favorite albums, and credited it with inspiring the Beatles to create Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band. Over the years, Pet Sounds has been celebrated for redefining what a rock album could be. Its innovative production techniques influenced countless artists across rock, pop, indie, and alternative music. Today, many critics and musicians consider it one of the greatest albums ever made, not because it followed trends, but because it created new ones. For transforming songwriting, studio production, and the artistic possibilities of rock music, Pet Sounds by the Beach Boys proudly earns the number 6 spot on our list of the most influential rock albums ever released. Do you think Pet Sounds deserves an even higher ranking? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and join us as we continue counting down the albums that changed rock history forever. Top 10 most influential rock albums ever released. Hashtag 5, The Velvet Underground and Nico by The Velvet Underground. Have you ever wondered how an album that sold so few copies became one of the most influential records in rock history? Released in 1967, The Velvet Underground and Nico wasn't a commercial hit. In fact, it barely made a splash when it first came out. But over time, it became a blueprint for punk, alternative, indie, and experimental rock.
I am tired.
Here's why it earns the number 5 spot on our countdown. At a time when most rock music focused on love songs and feel-good melodies, The Velvet Underground took a completely different approach. Led by Lou Reed and John Cale, the band explored subjects that were rarely discussed in popular music, including addiction, loneliness, urban life, and personal struggles. Their honest lyrics and fearless storytelling challenged listeners and expanded the boundaries of what rock music could express. The album features unforgettable tracks like Sunday Morning, I'm Waiting for the Man, Venus in Furs, and Heroin.
In the dark.
While these songs were controversial at the time, they introduced a raw, realistic style of songwriting that inspired generations of musicians. The album also featured vocals from German singer Nico, whose haunting voice added a unique atmosphere to several songs.
Strike dear mistress and cure his heart.
Its iconic banana cover, created by artist Andy Warhol, became one of the most recognizable album covers in music history. Although the album was largely ignored when it was first released, its influence grew steadily over the years. Countless artists, from punk pioneers to alternative rock legends, have cited it as one of their biggest inspirations.
Taste the whipping, love not given lately.
Its minimalist sound, experimental production, and fearless creativity proved that commercial success isn't the only measure of greatness. Sometimes, the albums that change music take years to be fully appreciated.
I am tired.
Today, The Velvet Underground and Nico is widely regarded as one of the most important and influential rock albums ever made. For redefining lyrical storytelling, inspiring entire musical movements, and proving that true influence lasts far beyond the charts, The Velvet Underground and Nico proudly earns the number 5 spot on our list of the most influential rock albums ever released.
Shiny, shiny.
Do you agree with this ranking? Share your thoughts in the comments. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and join us as we continue our countdown of the albums that changed rock music forever. Top 10 most influential rock albums ever released, #4. Are You Experienced by the Jimi Hendrix Experience? What if one debut album could completely redefine the electric guitar? In 1967, Are You Experienced by the Jimi Hendrix Experience exploded onto the music scene and changed rock forever. It wasn't just an incredible debut. It introduced a guitarist whose innovation would influence nearly every rock musician who followed. Here's why it takes the number 4 spot on our countdown. Before Jimi Hendrix arrived, the electric guitar was already a powerful instrument. But Hendrix showed the world that it could do far more than anyone imagined. Backed by bassist Noel Redding and drummer Mitch Mitchell, Hendrix blended blues, rock, soul, jazz, and psychedelic music into a sound that was bold, exciting, and completely original. The album featured unforgettable tracks like Purple Haze, Foxy Lady, Hey Joe, The Wind Cries Mary, and Fire. Each song highlighted Hendrix's extraordinary creativity, from soaring guitar solos to innovative use of feedback, distortion, and the wah-wah pedal. What made Are You Experienced so revolutionary wasn't just the songs, it was the way Hendrix approached the guitar itself. He transformed effects that many musicians considered mistakes, such as controlled feedback and amplifier distortion, into expressive musical tools. His fearless experimentation expanded the possibilities of rock music almost overnight. The album became a massive success and quickly established Hendrix as one of the greatest guitarists in history. More importantly, it inspired generations of musicians, from hard rock and heavy metal artists to blues, funk, and alternative rock performers. Even today, guitar legends such as Eddie Van Halen, Stevie Ray Vaughan, Slash, and John Frusciante have acknowledged Hendrix's enormous influence on their playing. Nearly 6 decades after its release, Are You Experienced remains a masterclass in creativity, innovation, and musical freedom. Its impact can still be heard every time a guitarist pushes the limits of what's possible. For revolutionizing electric guitar, inspiring countless musicians, and forever changing the sound of rock music, Are You Experienced by the Jimi Hendrix Experience proudly earns the number 4 spot on our list of the most influential rock albums ever released. You think Jimi Hendrix deserves an even higher place on this list? Let us know in the comments. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications as we continue our countdown to the most influential rock album of all time. Top 10 most influential rock albums ever released. Hashtag 3 Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band by the Beatles. What if one album completely changed the way music was made forever? In 1967, the Beatles released Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band. An album so revolutionary that it transformed rock music from simple entertainment into a true art form. More than 50 years later, its influence can still be heard across every genre of popular music. Here's why it earns the number 3 spot on our countdown. By 1967, the Beatles were already the biggest band in the world, but instead of repeating their earlier success, they took a bold, creative risk. After retiring from touring, John Lennon, Paul McCartney, George Harrison, and Ringo Starr devoted months to experimenting in the recording studio. Free from the limitations of live performances, they explored new sounds, groundbreaking production techniques, and imaginative songwriting. The result was Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band, an album that felt like one complete musical experience rather than just a collection of songs. It featured timeless classics like With a Little Help from My Friends, Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds, Getting Better, and the breathtaking finale, A Day in the Life, widely regarded as one of the greatest songs ever recorded.
What would you think if I sang?
Working alongside legendary producer George Martin, the Beatles used orchestras, tape loops, sound effects, and innovative recording techniques that were years ahead of their time.
Are you sad because you're on your own?
Their creativity raised the standard for what a rock album could achieve. The album won 4 Grammy Awards, became a global bestseller, and inspired countless artists to think beyond hit singles and create albums with a unified artistic vision. Its colorful cover, featuring dozens of famous historical and cultural figures, also became one of the most iconic images in music history. Nearly 6 decades later, Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band remains a landmark achievement, influencing everyone from progressive rock and psychedelic music to pop and alternative artists. For revolutionizing studio recording, redefining the concept of the album, and inspiring generations of musicians, Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band proudly earns the number 3 spot on our list of the most influential rock albums ever released. Do you think this masterpiece deserves the number 1 spot? Let us know in the comments. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and join us as we reveal the final 2 albums that changed rock music forever. Top 10 most influential rock albums ever released. Hashtag 2, Exile on Main Saint by the Rolling Stones. How does a double album recorded in the basement of a rented mansion become one of the greatest rock records ever made? Released in 1972, Exile on Main Saint by the Rolling Stones wasn't polished or perfect, and that's exactly what made it legendary. Its raw energy, incredible musicianship, and fearless mix of musical styles have inspired rock artists for more than 5 decades. Here's why it claims the number 2 spot on our countdown. By the early 1970s, the Rolling Stones were already global superstars. But instead of playing it safe, they pushed themselves into new creative territory. Much of Exile on Main Saint was recorded in the basement of Keith Richards' rented villa in the south of France. The hot, cramped, and unpredictable environment gave the album a gritty, spontaneous sound that perfectly matched the band's rebellious spirit. Rather than sticking to straightforward rock, the Stones blended blues, country, gospel, soul, rhythm and blues, and early rock and roll into a rich musical experience. The result was an album that felt authentic, timeless, and impossible to imitate. The record includes unforgettable songs like Rocks Off, Tumbling Dice, Happy, and Shine a Light. Each track highlights the band's remarkable chemistry, with Mick Jagger's powerful vocals and Keith Richards' unmistakable guitar work driving the music forward. Although initial reviews were mixed, Exile on Main Saint grew in reputation over the years. Today, many critics and musicians consider it the greatest album the Rolling Stones ever recorded, and one of the finest rock albums of all time. Its influence can be heard in countless rock, blues rock, Americana, and alternative bands that followed. More importantly, it proved that great rock music doesn't have to be polished, it just has to be real. Even after more than 50 years, Exile on Main Saint remains a benchmark for authenticity, songwriting, and musical freedom. For its fearless creativity, timeless songs, and lasting impact on generations of musicians, Exile on Main Saint by the Rolling Stones proudly earns the #2 spot on our list of the most influential rock albums ever released. Only one album remains. Which record changed rock music more than any other? Stay tuned for our #1 pick, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and share your favorite rock album in the comments. Top 10 most influential rock albums ever released. #1. The Beatles, The White Album. What if one album proved there were no limits to what rock music could become? Released in 1968, The Beatles, better known as The White Album, shattered expectations and redefined creative freedom in rock music. More than just a collection of songs, it became a bold statement that inspired generations of musicians to experiment without fear. Here's why it takes the #1 spot on our list of the most influential rock albums ever released. Following the groundbreaking success of Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band, many expected the Beatles to continue making psychedelic music. Instead, John Lennon, Paul McCartney, George Harrison, and Ringo Starr surprised the world with something completely different. Spanning 30 tracks across 2 records, The White Album explored an astonishing variety of musical styles. From hard rock and blues to folk, country, pop, avant-garde, and acoustic ballads, the album showed that a rock band didn't have to fit into a single genre. It featured unforgettable songs like Back in the USSR, While My Guitar Gently Weeps, Blackbird, Helter Skelter, Revolution, and Obla Dee, Obla Da. Each song revealed a different side of the band's creativity, proving that artistic diversity could be one of rock's greatest strengths. One of the album's biggest achievements was its willingness to take risks. Some songs were simple and intimate, while others were loud, experimental, and unlike anything heard before. That fearless approach encouraged future artists to break the rules, trust their instincts, and explore new musical ideas. Over the decades, musicians from rock, heavy metal, punk, indie, alternative, and even hip-hop have pointed to the White Album as a major influence. Its impact extends far beyond the Beatles' own era, continuing to inspire artists who value originality over convention. More than 50 years after its release, the White Album remains a symbol of unlimited creativity and one of the greatest achievements in rock history. For redefining artistic freedom, expanding the boundaries of rock music, and inspiring countless generations of musicians, the White Album by the Beatles deserves the #1 spot on our countdown of the most influential rock albums ever released. Do you agree with our #1 choice? Or would you have picked a different album? Let us know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this countdown, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more classic rock content. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.